Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Zahra Gaspariza with names 1212-020276 and I'm a College of Islamic Education major. With this video, I would like to describe about movie analysis of Laskar Pelangi. Laskar Pelangi is a 2008 Indonesian drama film directed by Riri Riza from a screenplay written by Salman Aristo with Riri and Mira Lesmana based on the novel of the same name by Andrea Hirata. This film was produced by Mills Films with Mizan Production and Cinemark. In this movie, there are 17 actors. The first one is Ikal. He is a main actor. Ikal is a Muhammadiyah student who has a strong determination to achieve his dreams and goals. So, he doesn't become a potter and can change his family's life. The second one is Lintang. He is a coastal child from a fisherman who has high aspiration because among 6 siblings, he's the only one who wants to go to school. The next is Mahar. Mahar is Muhammadiyah student who's very proficient in the art. And the fourth is Trapani. He is a Muhammadiyah student too, who's a very neat, clean, perfectionist, and polite. And also he is devoted to his mother. The fifth is Kuchai, a class president who always complains to be replaced. The next is Borek, the biggest boy to be nicknamed Samson. He is very naughty and difficult to manage. And there's Harun, a child who has mental retardation, but he's always steady compared to his friends. And there's Shahdan, the son of a fisherman who's small in stature but always cheerful. And there's Sahara, a girl wearing a hijab and the child of a thin PN trench head. And there's Kyung, a Konghucu child who lies from a plot of mustard green. And the next is a Muslimah, a clever, a charismatic, and friendly teacher. And there's Harfan Effendi, a principal who has a big mistake and hard worker. And there's Flo, a rich man's son who believes in magic. There's Bodenga, a crocodile handler who has always been surrounded by crocodiles in his life. There's Priska, the principal of the PN Elementary School. There's Edin Resvalda, a collegian who's struggling to write his final project. And the last is Ian Professor, an experienced psychiatrist. So, what the content of Laskar Pelangi film? The beginning of the story of the Rainbow Troop is that it begins with the struggle to get 10 new students by 2 teachers at the Muhammadiyah elementary schools to maintain the continuity of the existence of the Muhammadiyah elementary schools. Then, there's a depiction that emphasizes compartmentalization in achieving something better, be it education or a lifestyle in Belitung, due to the existence of a teen company. From an educational point of view, this film depicts a very prominent difference in learning facilities and infrastructure in achieving goals between a PN school and Muhammadiyah elementary school. However, an amazing thing appears in this film. An example is the author showing several figures who have a high enthusiasm for learning accompanied by their extraordinary talent. One of them is Lintang. The amazing thing begins and make everyone heart tremble when they see it. So they can feel the struggle of a fisherman child who really want to go to school by traveling a very long distance to school. with the various obstacles he encountered on his way to. Lintang enthusiasm for learning is so strong, all because he diligently reads, studies, analyzes, and tries to find a solution in his life. And the next, it describes the struggle of Ikal in achieving goals by trying extra. This is the result of education that was taught Laskar Pelangi to give as much as possible, not to receive as much as possible. So, it can be concluded that the theme of the novel Laskar Pelangi is the spirit of struggle accompanied by the sincerity of 11 Laskar Pelangi members in pursuing education. They are with all the shortcomings and limitations that exist, but they never give up in studying. There are many moral messages we can take from Laskar Pelangi film. Like the first one is to provide inspiration and enthusiasm for teachers and students who are in education. Because education is very important for all of us, even in the various challenges that hit us as a student. The second one is poverty and lack of educational facilities are not things that hinder a person's decline in pursuing knowledge and have a bad view of a simple circumstance. Enthusiasm and outlook on life in the future will make a person able to overcome difficult times in studying education. Thirdly, as the next generation of the nation, every individual must have a high dedication to education, especially a teacher. In the educational process, it is better to be able to teach about the basic value of life, such as morals, honestly, moral principle, and religion. In addition, in teaching should be selfless and teach with a sincere heart. And the last, in reaching your goals, you should not give up or give up easily, even though these goals are not easy to achieve and realize as you wish. Try your hardest to achieve all dreams and goals, even in the economic crash and limitation. And we can integrate the advantage of this film in our social life in the future. Because Laskar Pelangi is the first movie adaptation from the bookseller by Andrea Hirata. This movie tells about the story of Lintang and his friends, Belitung children, in order to be able to get proper education, which at the time was still difficult to get, especially in Belitung. There are so many interesting characters in this movie, like a teacher who never give up and try their best to provide what needed to aid their student future. And there are also children who struggle to reach their dreams. One thing that I find most interesting about this movie is Sekolah Hati or the Heart School. Education might bring us good score, good result, achievement, etc. But in this movie, they tell us about children who learn about life, how important is the future, the struggle to reach it, and the friendship between them, how they help and support each other with a happy heart. There was also this quote that say, berusahalah untuk selalu memberi sebanyak-banyaknya daripada menerima sebanyak-banyaknya. Or try to give as much as you can instead of receiving as much as you can. This day, there are so many people who had lost the meaning of the word giving. In this movie, they tell us about people who still give everything they had sincerely for other people, whether it was their time, their money, or just the effort. Another quote from the movie that I find interesting is, hidup kita bukan berbicara masa lalu, tapi hidup kita berbicara masa depan. Tentang apa yang akan terjadi di masa depan, ditentukan dari hidup kita saat ini. or our lives don't talk about the past, they speak of the future. What will happen in the future is decided in our lives today. So, we need to have our own purpose of living or your own vision and mission. Alright, maybe enough from me. Sorry if there's misspoken. And thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.